umpires in charge, John Russo and Michael Viney. And Michael Viney starts the match here at the MCG. Almost level in the middle. Pike dragged down off his kick. Comes out to Lewis. Kick by Lewis up inside half forward. Eagles into attack for the first time. Martin in front. Bursts away from Sumic. Kicks to centre wing. There's a free kick paid there. North Melbourne were dashing off with it. And it's got to come back to Waters. Interesting that the umpire didn't ping North 50 metres for that. Waters from the centre of the ground. Back to full forward. Sumic and Martin again. Sumic tries one towards the back. Comes out to Hamilton. He goes across the half-back line. And a good running mark taken by Scholl, playing his first senior game for the year.
Scholl's kick towards the wing. Marking contest out there. Miles doesn't really go for the mark. A big punch. Ball on the deck. Struggling hard out there is Tudor for North Melbourne. And it looks as though he may have received a free kick. Couldn't quite pick out what that was for. But Tudor, one of the youngsters coming into the North Melbourne side this evening, his high kick towards centre half forward. Players misjudge it. Malaxos at the back. The little kick out towards Miles. Is it too far for that player? Tudor tries to handball it low towards Gallagher, but it goes over for a boundary throw in. It's on centre wing on the outer side, and the supporters out there really braving the cool conditions here at the MCG tonight. Gallagher in front. Jackson. Over the top was Bryce. Malaxos trying very hard, as he usually does at the bottom of the pack. He can't do much with it, so the umpire will call for a bounce. And it's again on centre wing. Gallagher in front. Jackson trying to get position. Gallagher holds him out, but Jackson gets the tap out. It goes to Ramiro, but the free kick to Gallagher over the shoulder against Jackson.
Gallagher playing his first game for North after 16 with Carlton. Up towards half forward. Hepburn couldn't take the mark. Comes to Rance. His hand pass intercepted. Larkin gets it out. Tudor gets the ball on. Chance for Allison off the left boot. And he gets the first score, which is a behind.
He's had a good month, Brett Allison. Played a great game in that State of Origin game for New South Wales. Interesting lineup here at full back. There's a line coming out from the goal square straight down to centre half back.
Brennan kicks in. Heady gets plenty of space to take the mark. 20 metres in the clear at half-back flank. Up to centre wing. Kemp was there, beaten to it. Comes down to McRae. Short pass in, but it's chopped off by Waters. Here's kick to half forward. Langdon for the Eagles. Bit of body work going on there, and the free kick against Hepburn goes to Langdon.
Langdon's kick in towards the half forward area. Struggling hard was Hamilton. Bryce, he's kicked the ball the wrong way. Well, I didn't quite work out what that was all about, Bernie. Did he misjudge that or what?
He's deliberately gone for the boundary line. Obviously, he didn't know what sort of pressure was being applied from behind him. And the North Melbourne team just showing that they're lacking confidence, I think, at the moment, Robbo.
Yes. Bryce now doing the ruck work. He's jostled out of it by Jackson. Umpires picked a free kick out of it in the ruck contest once again, and it's going to go to Bryce for North Melbourne in the back pocket. He plays on now and kicks it high out towards half-back. Flying high was Schwass. Couldn't take the mark. Can't quite gather it. Ramiro gets the ball further afield towards Sean Smith, but the free kick goes back to the North Melbourne Rover. He tries to play on, slips, but gets his kick away towards centre half forward. Some pushing and shoving. Rance and Hepburn will take the free kick for North Melbourne. Mark Hepburn, a lot resting on his shoulders. He's a good big man. Here's an opportunity for North Melbourne. The ball slips through the back once again to Allison. He gets the handball away. Chandler goes for goal. It's a lovely long kick by Jeff Chandler, but it just misses to the left. And that's another behind on the scoreboard to North Melbourne. They're two behinds, and West Coast yet to score.
Wayne Carey playing centre half back for North Melbourne, and Hepburn playing centre half forward after Carey looked very promising at centre half forward early in the season. He's had a bit of a bleak patch over the last couple of weeks and is now on the back line.
Brennan's kick marked by Scott. Good mark. Phil Scott at half-back. His kick short of half forward. Jackson at the back. Great mark. Beat Bryce. Stephen Jackson. Sumic leads from full forward. He gave Martin the slip that time. Sumic in front. Martin came from behind to spoil. Langdon there. It's socket out of bounds. Great play by Carey. And he gained about 20 or 30 metres there to find the boundary line. Well, they've turned this North team upside down. So many changes. From last week, they made 7 changes. Schwass caught in a good tackle. And holding the ball, says the umpire.
Oh, that's really unbelievable.
Well, that was a great tackle, though, Robbo.
But what chance do you ever get rid of it?
Well, it's just sometimes they're not rewarded, and it's good to see occasionally that they are rewarded. Top tackle there by Johnny Anea.
That top kick was taken there by Pike, and that's a bit of a stack up inside half forward, and we'll have a ball up about 40 metres from goal.
I'm sorry, Donny Pike was the player who applied the tackle, of course.
Umpire Viney balls it up. Gallagher, Jackson, Heady to Narkle. Loses ground, comes out towards the boundary line. Great body work there, but illegal by Lewis, and the free kick to Sean Smith, who has a reputation for being a very high leaper. A few years ago he took plenty of contenders for Mark of the Year, Sean Smith, but hasn't seen much league action in recent years.
We've got a boundary throw in just forward of centre wing for the Eagles. Gallagher and Jackson. There'll be a lot of jostling during the evening for position for the ruck contest. Strong play there by Heady. Now an opportunity for the Eagles to go forward through Matera. Underneath it, Narkle. Good mark there by Phil Narkle. He had no idea who was coming from the opposite direction, and he showed a lot of courage, kept his eye right on the ball. And that is a terrific example by the diminutive West Coast Eagles player. And he'll have a shot from 30 metres. Lovely kick. First goal to the West Coast Eagles.
Langdon gets the hand pass away. It goes to Heady from the edge of the square. Wide to Sumic. Good mark. Well, Martin's been in front a couple of times, but that time Peter Sumic beat him to the sprint.
Actually, it was a brilliant lead by Sumic and an equally as good a pass by the player up the field.
They're giving him plenty of room to move into, Sumic. Also, only a couple of other players in that 50-metre semicircle.
Peter Sumic, fourth on the goal kickers list with 39 for the season. Gets his first tonight right through the middle with a beautiful kick.
Big long run up. Heady. Punched away by Scott, comes back to Scholl. North Melbourne struggling hard to get the ball away from the centre. Chandler has held, but he didn't have it. Now play goes on. He's allowed to get the hand pass to Bryce. Bryce's kick is wide. Here's the brilliant runner, Allison, on the favoured left foot into the pocket. A little bit too high there for McCarthy, rather. And Brendan sees the ball over the boundary line about 20 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. West Coast 2 goals straight. North Melbourne 2 behinds. Kick by Hepburn. High into the goal square. It bounces, but it just bounces through for a behind. So North Melbourne off target early. On the other hand, 2 brilliant kicks by Narkle and Sumic for goals for the Eagles. Sees them in front by 9 points.
Kick in marked by Heady over halfback. So the Eagles have kicked in pretty well from the 3 behinds. Kicked by North, but Heady's kick further afield not too good. Too wide for Mainwaring, out in between wing and half forward. 3 scoring shots to 2, but the Eagles lead by 9 points. Gallagher and Jackson to do battle. Jackson hacked out of there by Chandler. Waters fumbles out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Well, the Eagles had never won at the MCG until a month ago when they broke the ice here at the MCG and beat Richmond. So can they go on with it and record another one tonight? Position on the ladder suggests they could, but North a big chance. A near off the ground, up to half forward. It's punched forward well in defence by Hamilton. Pike to Kemp. Chest mark to Bryce. Playing in front of Jackson. Oh, the hand pass back was fumbled by McRae. Comes out to Chandler. Round the boundary line he goes. A high kick to centre wing. Hepburn got there late, couldn't mark. Rance's hand pass dropped a bit short. Thumped up by Gallagher. Goes to Romero. Chance for North this time. Oh, great hand pass by Tudor. Schwass on the 50-metre line. Chance here for North Melbourne. It's Scholl. Longmire. In he goes to Schwass. Hand pass wide but dropping short. Miles chops it off for the Eagles and kicks to open space and will find the boundary line. And North fiddled a bit too much.
The rugby league boys from the other night would have been wrapped in that kick, Drew. It gathered about 45 metres for the West Coast Eagles and found touch. Boundary throw in, Gallagher and Scott. Scott, a bulkier, heavier person than Gallagher, but Gallagher's there to punch it back towards the North Melbourne goal. Heady gets it off to Waters. Waters kick into the centre. Oh, he really should have taken that mark, Matera. He allows Brayshaw in. Brayshaw's kick fortuitously lands with Smith. Smith to Ramiro. Ramiro goes to goal. It's right in front of the North Melbourne goal. Longmire is holding on to Brennan, and Brennan will take the free kick at fullback for the West Coast Eagles. The Eagles' defence is holding up. There's a player on his own, wide at half-back. It's McKenna. McKenna's allowed to run on. Smith arriving a little late on the scene. The kick to half-forward, and a good mark taken by Jackson. He put his long arms in the air. His body held ground beautifully. And Jackson, with a long bomb, he could even score. It's a mark. Langdon's taken the mark in the goal square, 1 metre from goal.
That's a brilliant play by the West Coast Eagles. They transferred that ball from defence right into the teeth of goal with a couple of good long kicks.
And Langdon posts the third goal for the Eagles.
It's a goal for 3 goals. Gallagher beaten by Scott. Comes down to Heady. Once again, the Eagles into attack. Jackson beaten to it this time. McRae for North. Hand pass to Bryce. He kicks wide to centre wing Ramiro. Spoiled by Waters. And the ball out of play on the members' wing. Players wearing black armbands in respect for Jack Hamilton, who sadly was tragically killed during the week. Ruckman doing battle. Comes back to Scott. Gets a lucky chance at it. Charge at it by Matera. He did well to regain his footing quickly. Anir. Back to Matera. His left footer inside half forward. Brayshaw slips catch. And it's a North Melbourne free kick. It's going to come back to Mark Brayshaw, and the free kicks are 8-4.
He's a player I'd like to see in the North Melbourne side too. He was very impressive in the pre-season competition, but spent most of the day competition playing in the reserves.
His kick goes to half forward. Ramiro looking to handball over the top. He goes to Smith. The ball doesn't sit for that player, and now he's caught with it. He's just able to get his hand pass away. Malaxos, a quick kick high in the air, and the mark is taken by Rance, and it must have barely covered the required distance. Rance to kick the Eagles out of trouble. His high kick towards centre wing. Up over the top goes Bryce. Jackson the first to recover, but not before the ball goes over. We'll have a boundary throw in just into the Eagles' forward half.
I think, Robbo, North Melbourne have had as many opportunities as the West Coast Eagles, but twice they've messed up handballs, and the other time there was a poor kick into the forward line, and they were very promising forward moves that they've let themselves down.
Pike has pulled off the ball. Gallagher's kick goes to Ramiro. They're continuing with the handballing. Allison, full forward, Longmire. Now, John Longmire will kick from just inside 50. The player on the mark would be 40 metres from goal. So a real chance for North Melbourne's first goal. John Longmire. Drop punt kick falls short. It's in the square, a free kick. It's going to the Eagles. And it may be against that player in the picture there, John McCarthy. It'll be taken back there by Jeff Miles.
A very disappointing player, John McCarthy. He looked like he could have been a superstar, but really lacks consistency.
Kick by Miles. He had to kick it high to clear the man on the mark. It only gets to 50. Punch forward favours Gallagher, but he's too slow to turn. Anir. Gallagher applies the tackle, and another one. Anir for a second time. Rance runs out of room, and we'll have a boundary throw in at half forward for North. Well, I was about to nominate that Longmire was going to kick that goal. He likes it at night. He kicked 8 in the state match, and the last time under lights at the MCG here, he kicked 12. Main Waring pulled off his kick, but it comes to Anir. Bryce gets in front of Jackson to mark. Kick by Paul Bryce, short of half forward. Hepburn at the back, charged at that one, kept it out in front of himself, gets the hand pass away nicely. Scholl on the turn, wide to the pocket. Double teaming in defence, and the Eagles get it to the boundary line, but not out. A centering kick by McCarthy. And with one boot, the mark is taken by Kemp.
Actually, it was a poor kick in the finish. Now the Eagles will get out of trouble. The kick wide. Jackson tries to knock it to his advantage. It goes wide. He overruns it. So does Bryce. So we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing on the members' side. Not bad conditions here at the MCG. We've had a little bit of rain here in Melbourne this afternoon, but the ground holding up quite nicely. Boundary throw in Gallagher. Malaxos for the Eagles. Kicks it 25 metres. Now the bounce favours Narkle. He'll go up inside 50. Left foot kick. Langdon can't mark. Free kick. Well, it may have been there. North Melbourne player not too happy, and John Russo's probably saying, oh, I could probably sense that Wayne Carey not too happy. John Russo going for the book. Please don't dispute the decisions.
He's in the book.
He's in the book, is he? Well, I think he threatened the player. If you go on with it, I'll book you.
Well,
and he obviously did.
He gave him 1 or 2 warnings there. I think he gave more than the 1 warning. And once the decision's been made, we say it time and time again, what's the use of arguing with the umpire? Now the frustration is there, but it is no use arguing with the umpire. The decision has been made.
So Langdon from 35 metres. Not a bad kick by Langdon. It just drifts across, and it's through for a behind. Very serious looking goal umpire down that end there, indicating the Eagles first behind on the scoreboard. 3-1 plays 3 behinds.
Well, he should be serious too. A player might swear at him soon. Kick in. Bad bounce here for Larkin. The hand pass Malaxos. Too high for Lewis. Matera. Centering kick. Didn't go for the goal. Jackson. But the man in front, Bryce.
Oh, I reckon Jackson had a better grip on it.
Oh, he's very lucky.
Hey, Bernie?
Very lucky, Robbo, yep.
Kick by Bryce to the outer wing. Nudged underneath the ball. Is that a free kick? It is. To Craig Scholl against Kent. Scholl's kick to half forward. Punch by Anir from behind. He did pretty well there. Ramiro. Hepburn. Smith puts it wide. Chance here for Tudor. Can't bring it back far enough. And North Melbourne have had plenty of chances, but they've only kicked 4 behinds.
How many times does a handball that Hepburn did over his head, how many times are they penalised for throwing?
Not often at all.
You don't think so?
I don't think so,
I think
no.
it's very, very difficult for a player to hold the ball in one hand over his head and still handball it.
I don't see the umpire pay many free kicks though, Robbo, for that.
Kick in goes close to the boundary line, and it's helped over by Craig Scholl. His opponent there, Scott Waters. So we'll have a boundary throw in about 70 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Ruckman, Scott, Gallagher gets it out the back. Kemp combining with Malaxos. Malaxos's kick, which is customary, doesn't go very far, but it goes towards the Eagles' goal where Matera picks it up. Wide to Jackson. Sweeping hand pass, Mainwaring. Gets around onto the left foot. He does it equally as well, one side and the other. The kick is a beauty into the goal square, but it just bounces through for another behind to the West Coast Eagles. Mainwaring perhaps indicating there that no one leading further afield, so he had to bomb away. 3-2 plays 4 behinds, and Michael Martin kicks into the members' side.
Gallagher beaten to it by Scott, and Scott finds the boundary line. Taken over by Narkle. 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Eagles 3-2, North 4 behinds. Scott against Gallagher. Gallagher clearly, but straight to Malaxos. His centering kick. Brayshaw charged it. Comes to Lewis. Shrugs the tackle, Chris Lewis. Great football off to Langdon, and Langdon gets his second.
Bounce back in the centre. Gallagher gets the tap out. Eagles will go clear again, but it's chipped in as Ramiro. His kick goes wide out towards the practice cricket pitch area. McKenna. He's helped out by Miles, who's come all the way down from the back pocket. His kick is wide, a little too wide, and it goes over on the full. The free kick to be taken for North Melbourne by Wayne Schwass. North Melbourne have had their fair share of the ball. The Eagles have had 42 kicks to 34, 20 hand passes to 15, but they haven't been able to capitalise just yet, North Melbourne. Now Larkin, creative. Schwass gets around quickly to the left foot, and he bombs away up towards the goal square. Flipped over by Longmire. Ramiro, have a shot yourself, son. He does, and he goals. Great kick by Jose Ramiro. and it's probably one of the rare opportunities he's had to get clear and have a good kick at it, and he kicks North Melbourne's first. North Melbourne 1-4, the Eagles 4-2.
Yes, Wayne Schwass, the player there, setting it up with the long kick into the forward line. I thought there may have been a free kick there against Longmire with a hand on Brennan's shoulder, but it spilt to Romero, and a great snap on the left foot. North Melbourne at last making the most of an opportunity.
North within 16 points. Hepburn clean possession. He was going to get a free kick. Advantage paid. And it's still North's ball. No, it's got to come back eventually.
One umpire paid the advantage. Umpire Russo pulled it back.
Sean Smith from the centre circle. Longmire in front. They did pretty well on him. Out to Chandler. The hand pass is wide. It's hooked back here by Tudor. Right in front of goals. Might be a North free to Longmire right in front. And John Longmire, who had a remarkable game against Richmond in round 2, he took 18 marks and had 22 kicks at full forward.
Well, there's the free kick, the replay of the incident, but I didn't see a free kick there, Robbo. Could you see what it was for?
Maybe against Brennan, perhaps. It was a bit Tiggy Touchwood, but he looked as though he pushed the player out of the contest.
Longmire from 25 metres kicks the goal. North have kicked the last 2.
Left, the last 2 goals going to North Melbourne, and they're right in this contest. Narkle can't get away from the centre ruck contest, and the umpire will come in and bounce. A determined Sean Smith picking himself up. I don't know what that sounded like, but I was trying to say he picked himself up off the ground. So we'll have another bounce in the centre. Scott, but he's beaten for it by Hepburn. Allison looks a good pass. It is. No, Longmire can't mark. Taken away by Brennan. A little too high, that pass, and Brennan's kick clears right out towards centre wing. Langdon coming through strongly is McRae, and he gathers the ball nicely. Around onto the right foot goes McRae and kicks it back into the centre. Nearly a North Melbourne mark to Brayshaw. Picked up by Narkle. Was that a good tackle by Chandler? No, it wasn't. It was a little too high.
I thought it was a great tackle by Chandler, but not paid. I saw it differently.
Narkle plays on. Kick towards the vacant half-forward position. McRae drops a sitter. Pike is in there to do the tackling. Now the loose ball comes wide. It's Heady across his body to full forward, and anticipating well as Martin. He backs himself and runs right on with it. Kicks it long into towards the centre. It bounces back towards the Eagles' goal. Anir is dispossessed by Smith. Ball comes towards Larkin. Lovely hand pass by Larkin. Always creative. Chandler's kick to full forward. Brennan couldn't bend down. Longmire, but intercepted by McKenna. He's assisted there by Malaxos, and the Eagles are out of trouble. The kick goes back into the centre, but they're under pressure again because Larkin's going to pump it back into goals. It's a great kick by Larkin wide, but McKenna gets back there. So does Malaxos. And that half-back line of the Eagles is standing up to it. Malaxos has kicked to no man's land. Larkin's going to take possession again. He looks to get the hand pass away. No, he ducks and weaves. Kicks it high, back towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Rance is looking for it. He's not paid. Play on. It's Waters. Kemp. Waters. Now Lewis. Kick off the ground by Lewis. And it's Schwass. He ducks around onto the right foot. Wayne Schwass's high kick towards half forward. And it could be a mark to Scott. It's going to be paid because he certainly had control of it. The North Melbourne player arriving a little late.
Gee, this game's come to life in the last few minutes. The crowd really starting to find some voice. Big punch away by Carey, close to the boundary line. Heady keeps it in. He did well there. Hepburn high, comes to Brayshaw. His kick, fortunately, comes to Scholl. Scholl kicks about 30 metres, that's all. Push out by Waters. He gives away the free kick. Taken by Tudor.
I think the difference in the last 5 minutes or so for North Melbourne is since Hepburn's been swung into the ruck. Gallagher down in the forward pocket now is being beaten in the ruck. Hepburn's added a lot of life there.
Romero took the kick. Chance for Allison, running out of room. It was out of bounds and will have a throw in. North really throwing everything at the Eagles at the moment. They're trailing by 10 points.
I think the result of the scoreboard, the fact that they've kicked a couple of goals too, has given them some sort of lift. Gallagher with Scott. McKenna's done some brilliant things in defence in the last couple of minutes. His interception from a hand pass was great. Malaxos to McKenna. And look at the delivery by Guy McKenna. Back to Jackson. Here's McKenna again. 3 positions. Straight to full forward. Martin in front.
The umpire's going to ball that up 45 metres out from goal. That's great play by Guy McKenna. No wonder he's a former club best and fairest. 26 plays 16. 2 minutes remaining to quarter time.
Good bounce by the umpire. Jackson, Hepburn, Schwass comes through to Heady. Heady's kick across his body. It could bounce through. It bounces, but just to the wrong side, and it's through for behind to the Eagles. So, shots at goal. Certainly not much in it there. Eagles 4-3. North Melbourne 2-4. And young Stephen Hamilton will bring the ball back into play for North Melbourne. And basically straight up the centre, kick in towards half-back. Great mark taken by Scott. He's an improved player, Bernie, over the last, 12 months?
He's been very impressive. He's never beaten Phil Scott. He's not over tall, but always gives a great contest.
Scott's kick to full forward. Langdon! What a great jump.
He's taken the best 2 marks of the game.
Well, that one was sensational, Drew. He came in from nowhere, the side of the pack, and I think he may have hurt himself when he hit the ground after taking that mark.
Well, let's hope he's just winded, because his arm certainly hit the ground pretty hard. The arm holding the ball, but looks as though it might have just taken a little bit of wind out of his sails. And Langdon would only be 11 metres from goal.
Well, that was a brilliant mark by Carl Langdon. He's been a good player for the West Coast Eagles this year at centre-half forward. A much improved player.
Anea coming off and Turner going on for the Eagles as Langdon... Oh, that's close. That's awfully close. He misses. The player in the goal square put his hands to his head. I wasn't game enough to have a go at it because I thought you can't miss from there, but, well, there you are.
Stephen Hamilton kicks in for North. Man in front, the mark. Hepburn, back to McRae. McRae's pass to centre wing. Allison on the lead. And Turner just on the ground will get a free kick for this one, out of bounds on the full. Dean Turner, who left Fitzroy to start with the Eagles when they started in the national competition. Pike held it for a while. Hamilton gets the hand pass away to Schwass, into Romero, but the hand pass a bit behind him. Hamilton again for Schwass, but the ball runs out of bounds.
Well, the Wayne Schwass there, the player making the mistake. They set it up beautifully, and just a skill error there by the North Melbourne side. Wayne Schwass not putting the handball out in front.
Just 7 seconds remaining to quarter time. Free kick in ruck. Will be taken by Bryce and will have to go back, but the siren will beat him. So it's quarter time here at the MCG with the Eagles 4-4 to 2-4.
And umpire John Russo holds the ball aloft. MCG. 2 goals advantage to the Eagles at quarter time. Scott gets it down. It's Pike, kicks it forward. Up towards half forward, the bouncing ball. Martin collects it nicely. And Martin clears for North Melbourne. Back into the centre. It's a mark to Gallagher. He juggles it, looking to get the hand pass away. Long one. Chandler. And he goes through Lewis. Somehow Chris Lewis must have thought he was going to handball, and eventually he kicks to half forward. A big punch by Brennan. Goes back towards Sean Smith. His kick is an up and under. It stays at centre half forward. The punch goes further afield. McKenna punches it wider. North Melbourne have got the numbers here. There's a real chance for them if they can collect this ball. They can't, because the Eagles have swooped on it through Dean Turner. And Dean Turner's kicked towards centre wing. The marking contest out here, and it's a good one taken at the back by Heady for the West Coast Eagles. He's on centre wing. He kicks it to half forward. Punched away by Bryce. It'll go over for a boundary throw in. Jackson, the Eagles player, contesting the mark. And we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward, favouring the Eagles. No score as yet in the second term. 4-4 plays 2-4, the Eagles in front.
Schwass can't control it, and the ball back out of bounds. Wayne Schwass looks a bit different from when he burst onto the scene in league football, with a much shorter haircut. Grandfather played rugby for the All Blacks in New Zealand. Bit of trivia. Well, the hand pass came out, but was intercepted by Bryce. The hand pass coming from Pike. Overrun by Scott. The ball is kept in by Allison. And Hepburn gets it back to Allison. He goes inside 50, runs out of room, but goes for goal across the face. Longmire. Well, was it a kick for a goal or a pass? I might say it was a pass.
Actually, it was a terrific effort by Allison to keep the ball in play down here at half forward, wasn't it?
Yes, he's having a good patch, Allison, the last month. He's been a very good player for North Melbourne.
Longmire has kicked one. This from point-blank range. Angle a bit difficult. I think he's got it. Well, North right in this. Champagne football, they say. It's 3-4 to 4-4.
Yes, well, that was good play. The West Coast defenders not able to take that across the boundary line. I think the shifting surface here at the MCG might have had something to do with that, with Phil Scott losing his footing there. And I think we will give that as a pass to Allison. He was on a very tight angle there, running on the wrong side, but he saw John Longmire and popped it into him.
And a good kick by Johnny Longmire. Bit of a dust up behind play. Bryce, it's Martin and Sumich. North Melbourne into attack. It's broken down by McKenna, and still they wrestle in the goal square. The runners are coming out, and still Sumich is having a go with Martin. The kick by Scott, up towards half forward. Concentrate on the game, boys. Here comes the football at half forward for the Eagles. Langdon out wide to Waters. Now Narkle gets it out to Turner. Turner's little kick is good, and the mark is taken by Jackson. He's perhaps not all that closer to goal, and there are the two boys having their playtime. Jackson's kick slews off the side into the pocket. Lewis taps it out the back. Opportunity for Heady. The left foot shot by Heady. Oh, it just swings around with the spin of the ball from the left foot, and it's through for one behind. That's Brett Heady and Wayne Schwass. West Coast Eagles lead by 7 points, 29 to 22.
Well, Mal Brown's in town, the chairman of selectors for Western Australia, and Ron Alexander, their coach. Wouldn't be surprised to see Heady make a state Guernsey later on. A pretty remarkable first season in big football. Defensive kick by Hamilton. Bryce close to the boundary line, runs out of room.
And were they lucky to get away with that?
Four terrible errors there, weren't there?
Oh, but Peter Sumich dropped a sitter from that kick out.
The kick, the mark, and the hand pass, and the slip.
On the 50-metre line, Jackson in front of Gallagher. Mainwaring. And the ball's out off Bryce again. Actually talking to Mal Brown prior to the match, and he said Brett Heady's one of those players who went from reserves to WAFL football to AFL football and just made every step as easy as you like.
Well, there you go. It's, I suppose, it's a bit of confidence.
Free kick to Gallagher.
Gallagher's kick now goes in towards the centre. It could be a North Melbourne mark. It's punched away. And Scholl, Larkin just gets in his way. Kemp slips everything and gets the hand pass back to Pike. Pike's kick is wide, and taking the mark out there is Heady. And it was a good one because he had a bit of opposition. Heady's 10th kick coming up. 10 kicks and 11 kicks and 2 hand passes. The kick towards half forward, punched away. Scott from a standing position kicks it high, only about 20 metres in towards centre half forward. Gathered by Gallagher off to Hamilton, and North Melbourne out of trouble. The kick goes wide towards centre wing, and another mark taken by Brett Heady. And his statistics are very impressive. The kick in short, the mark is taken by Scott. So Phil Scott, his 7th kick, a high one, in towards centre half forward. Carey from behind punches the ball away. Jackson's out there. Mainwaring has pulled off the ball. He makes it look a little worse than it was. The kick across his body is offline, and it's out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket for the Eagles. And the free kick back there will be taken by Wayne Carey. Well, there's a player who's gone backwards on the field of play in about 8 weeks. He was at centre half forward when the season started. Now he's at centre half back. The kick goes in, gathered by Brayshaw. He gets a lovely hand pass, the opportunity to run onto it to Smith. He gives it across to Hepburn, and North Melbourne are up to within goal-scoring distance. They're a chance because Longmire has stood his ground and taken a good mark, only 30 metres out. And John Longmire proving a handful for Michael Brennan.
Oh, the height to worry there too, Robbo. He's a big boy, John Longmire.
Chance for goal number 3, and it looks pretty good from here.
2 goals straight to 1 behind this term. Scott wins in the middle. Mainwaring might have taken one over the head, but flips the ball out well to Matera. Matera backwards to Pike. Pike keeps the pass low to the forward line. Sumic on the bounce. He had a wrestle with Martin already. Martin did very well that time. It spills to Lewis. Lewis props and cops. Comes to Matera. Into the path of Pike. Making a return to the seniors. Kemp gets it back to Lewis. Pops it over the top. Sumic this time. Martin's played him pretty well. It's 4 possessions to 3 in favour of Michael Martin. But Peter Sumic is lining up for his second goal. It's cruel, isn't it? You give a forward a few possessions, and as long as they're close enough to goal, he can kill you on the scoreboard, even though you might beat him.
Well, Michael Martin was only 1 metre away when Sumic took that mark. Can't do much more than that. The pass was a good one.
He's a beautiful kicker. And he'll be kicking from just inside 50, close to the boundary line. That's way left. Still in the field of play. And knocked away by Bryce out of bounds for a throw-in alongside the behind post.
So the Eagles are a chance. Play deep in their forward line. Bryce in front. Langdon went for the big fly. Carey gets the kick away. And it's not a bad one either. It goes back in towards the centre. Kemp can't control it. He's held when he didn't have it. And he'll take the free kick for the Eagles. North Melbourne supporters not too happy with that decision, feeling it was a little tiggy touch with the pass, a beauty, and Langdon takes the mark in front of his face about 40 metres from goal.
Actually, Carey's got a problem back there. Langdon's kicked 2, should have had 3, and Carey's been reported as well.
He's very lively, Carl Langdon. I like the way he plays centre half forward. He's not over tall, but he moves all the time.
Usually a pretty good kick. It's going to be touched right on the line by Michael Martin, and it's through for a behind. So Carl Langdon has 2 goals 3 against his name out of that 4 goals 6, and he could easily have had 4. Martin comes to the members' side. Lovely long drop punt kick, well outside 50 metres. Schwass and Heady. Schwass does the tackling. Gallagher. Schwass looking for the free kick. The ball comes out. Narkle somehow gathers the ball and kicks it to the front of the 10-metre square. Sumic, and it's a clean mark.
Yes, that's a beautiful mark there by Peter Sumic, but another handball mistake there by North Melbourne. That time there from Michael Gallagher, who handballed it just too hard for his teammate, and it allowed the West Coast Eagles player Phil Narkle in to kick the ball into the forward line.
So Sumic usually runs out to the left and hooks the ball back slightly. He makes no mistake.
Tough customer. Chandler's hand pass is good to Brayshaw. Brayshaw to the 50-metre line, and McCarthy totally out of position. Miles beats him to it. Miles might have given away a free kick. He has to Larkin. Too far out to score Matty Larkin. Without his mate Peter German tonight, German dropped. Longmire well underneath the ball. It's taken by Malaxos. He's kicked no great distance, not out of trouble yet, but Lewis used his body well to win possession. Lewis's kick off the left boot. Heady again. Oh, and he's taken high. And that could be a 50-metre penalty. It is. And Heady coming up for his 15th possession, and we're midway through the second quarter.
I think he summed it up pretty well, umpire Russo, Bernie, because if the North Melbourne player didn't do that, Heady probably would have been able to crash through the tackle, and the ball would have been nearly in the goal square anyway.
Yes, Heady, I think, was thinking about playing on, no doubt, Robbo.
So a remarkable game by a first-year player, Brett Heady. He kicks for goal from 50 metres. Won't quite make it. Oh, right on the line. A great mark taken by Carey. Top mark. That would have been a goal had not Carey taken that skyscraper.
He's looking to play on quickly. Kicks it high and long out towards the members' half-back flank position. It's gathered by McCarthy. McCarthy's hand pass is okay. Gives McRae the chance to run. The left foot kick by McRae. And North Melbourne player held out of it there as Hepburn by Rance. And the umpire, well, he's a fair way away from it, but he was in a good position to see that. And certainly a free kick to the North Melbourne player. So Mark Hepburn And Murray Rance maybe made it look a little worse. Kicked by Hepburn into the goal square. It may even bounce through. No, it could have hit the post. It has. And it's a behind at North Melbourne. Well, I don't think the Eagles would have been too pleased with that if it had done a leg break and gone through. 4-5 North, 5-6 the Eagles. And Brennan kicks it, perhaps a little too early. The goal umpire hadn't finished his duties, waving the flag. So Brennan has to go through the whole thing again.
Kicked by Michael Brennan for Heady, and he hasn't let him down again. His 6th mark. A brilliant game by Heady. Up towards centre wing. Scott leads the race. He's about to have a head-on collision. He went for the boundary line.
Well, it might be time, I think, to move Wayne Schwass off Heady, because Heady's really giving Wayne Schwass a bath in this second quarter.
Scott against Gallagher. Gallagher slightly down to Mainwaring. Well done by Hamilton. Good play. Chandler back to Bryce. Bryce's kick very high, and not only that, wide and not very handsome, out on the full.
Oh, I don't know. I think, Bernie, if a player's getting plenty of touches, all you need to do is give the runner the message to go out and tighten up, surely. 3 North Melbourne players fly for the ball at half forward. Eagles another chance to score. Langdon goes so simply to Matera, and Matera's pass in towards Sumic. He's not quite quick enough. And now North Melbourne through. Scholl combining with Martin. Martin bounces the ball. It could be a fatal error. No, it's not. He'll give the hand pass long and sweeping, and Schwass has been moved, Bernie, onto this members wing. Back to Martin. Martin's kick, nearly a North Melbourne marker. Good punch away by Narkle. Malaxos intercepting Gallagher, and Gallagher goes for goal. It's home for North Melbourne. Michael Gallagher.
The Eagles in front. Scott wins in the middle. Down to Heady. Kick by Heady to full forward. Martin works to the front of Sumic. Still with Michael Martin. He's playing well back there. Schwass is now on Kemp. Schwass's hand pass wide to McCarthy. That's good play. Buckley's on the ground for North. Started on the bench. Oh, good mark taken by Scott. The hand pass into Waters. Turner. Straight down the middle, the way to go. Jackson, a one-hander. Held off Bryce with the left and took the mark with the right. Stephen Jackson, he's taking a long run up at this one. He'll be kicking from about 50. Eagles by just a point. Oh, very high. Won't even make the goal square. Hamilton gets the hand pass out to Schwass. Schwass's left footer. He had nobody to kick to, so he gains 35 metres and finds touch.
Well, it was a rare possession for Wayne Schwass in this second term. As Bernie has said, Brett Heady has put it all over him on the outer wing. 17 possessions to Brett Heady. And Schwass, on the other hand, has only had 8. So he's been moved onto this members wing. He's going to get another possession here. Free kick against the Eagles player, Kemp. And Wayne Schwass will take it for North Melbourne, defensive side of centre wing. His kick is pretty good. It's close to the boundary line, too far. He had the right idea.
Too many mistakes, though, North, haven't they? The handball mistakes, handball errors have been costly. And there again, a simple kick out of bounds on the full.
Scott's kick goes back to half forward. Buckley can't get clear. Schwass taps it out. Ramiro, left foot kick by that player towards half forward. It goes through the back. Allison, oh, the ball just slipped through his hands. Critical. He's got a second chance. Brett Allison with pace. Kicks it towards the front of the goal square. Longmire, but judging it better at the back was Brennan. And he takes a good mark for the Eagles at full back. Good play by Brennan because he's had 3 goals kicked against him. The kick goes in towards the centre square. Longmire, Chandler. Oh, here's Miles. Gathers the ball and Miles kicks it wide. Out there is Pike. Can he get there quickly? No, he can't. The ball bounces over. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
So he had a paddock. Sorry, Robbo. He had a paddock to work in too. Had that ball sat for him, Don Pike.
The kick a little wide, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just a little bit too wide for him, and would have had an open forward line to work into there.
Bryce and Jackson do the business in the ruck. Mainwaring, bit slick from Malaxos. Hamilton comes out, does well to get his kick away. Scholl off the ground. North going forward. The whistle's gone to North. Free kick coming back here. Be taken by Hepburn. Goes long with his left foot. Longmire at full forward. Was it a push? He plays on. Hand passes to himself. Here comes Allison and puts North in front.
Melbourne, in a relatively low-scoring game, lead the Eagles. Martin strong in defence. Brilliant play by Michael Martin. A long 50-metre kick. Transfers play into the North Melbourne forward half. Tudor goes over the top. Allison might kick another one. Oh, it's very close. And the two New South Wales players, Brett Allison and John Longmire, combining, they've kicked 4 goals for North Melbourne in the first half. Brennan kicks in for the Eagles. Comes to the members' side. Gallagher takes the mark. Was it all clear? Yes. Gallagher goes with the right foot. That's confidence for you. He's a left footer. Longmire marks. It's been paid. Right on the line, the goal umpire has given every indication that it's a clean mark to John Longmire, and he'll shoot for goal from a virtually impossible angle. Yes, he did grab it inside. Longmire goes off the side of his boot and he's goal. Oh, what a magnificent kick. He's kicked 4.
And North Melbourne now 2 goals up. It's been a brilliant quarter of football by North Melbourne. A 5-goal second quarter. The mark again, Johnny Longmire's had a tremendous season. Spent most of last season on the back line playing at full back. And that goal from John Longmire was his 41st for the season. It's been a great focal point for North Melbourne up there on the forward line.
Well, this is a turn-up now. North have gone from 2 goals behind to 2 goals in front in this second quarter. Malaxos gets the hand pass away to Turner. High to half forward. The punch away from Buckley. Schwass gets away from Kemp. Kemp comes again. Schwass along the ground. Turner overruns it. Oh, great little hand pass to Schwass, but he fumbled it. That was Hepburn got it out. Brayshaw. And the ball out of play on centre wing. Mick Malthouse on the phone, a little bit worried with this. They've kicked 5 goals, 2 in this quarter, North Melbourne, to 1-2. High kick by Kemp. No distance, mightn't have travelled 10. Larkin overruns a half volley. Mainwaring, kick smothered by Gallagher. Allison did well to keep it going North's way. Larkin looking for Allison. At full stretch. Malaxos out of defence. All North. Brayshaw takes the mark on his chest.
Brayshaw looks to play on and does so. Kicks it in towards full forward. Coming out in front and overrunning it was Carey. Ramiro's a chance. A kick across his body. Another North mark. It's Longmire again. John Longmire's kicked 4. The North fans are very, very excited about this.
This is probably an easier shot than his last shot at goal too. The umpire's brought him in very close. Probably another banana kick. No.
He runs around the player on the mark. This time the fans aren't quite as excited. And little wonder, because John Longmire kicks his first behind for the evening. 4 goals, 1. And Michael Brennan will kick the ball back into play. The short pass is on, out in the direction of Heady, who looks as though he may have been moved onto this members' wing.
Heady up to the centre wing. On a fine mark, the man in front. No, not paid. Langdon does the paddling work. Comes to Rance. Back to Langdon, who has a new opponent. McCarthy back there in a switch with Carey. Ball out of bounds. Free kick actually to the Eagles. A push on Jackson. Too far out to score Stephen Jackson. He centres. Sumic charges at it. Can't take the mark. He's after it again. Loses ground in possession. Kemp, great little hand pass to Mainwaring. He's inside 50. His kick won't make it off the side of the boot, but it'll be all right for Jackson. And Jackson takes the mark about 35 metres from goal. And Michael Martin down injured for North. And that would be bad news for the Kangaroos. He crashed down when Sumich led for that kick that was put out in front by Jackson. And now here's Stephen Jackson to get the Eagles closer. It's a 13-point lead at the moment to North. Jackson's kick's a beauty. Right through the middle. In the centre. And it's won by Jackson, who's gone onto the ball. Free kick to North. Is hurriedly taken by Chandler. Longmire in front. Can't take this mark. Pickering just on the ground. Has got a bit of a chance. Off the ground. A soccer kick by Tudor is through. And North back to a 13-point lead.
Well, the opportunity there arising for Tudor to kick that off the ground with Miles overrunning the ball, as he may have slipped in the loose MCG surface again. I think could have claimed another victim. Miles slipping twice there with the surface giving under his feet. And really this surface isn't up to VFL standard, Robbo, or AFL standard as it is now. It's really a disgrace.
Bounce back in the centre with 4 minutes left. Eagles get clear through Pike. Up towards half forward, coming out with Sumich. Gathering the ball, McCarthy, but he leaves it behind. Narkle's in there fighting hard for his side. But umpire Viney calls for a bounce. Play about 40 metres from the Eagles' goal. They trail by 13 points. North Melbourne have fought very hard in this second term. Gallagher up over the top. Punch on by Scott gives Kemp the chance. He's dispossessed by Schwass. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. About 75 metres around from the Eagles' goal. And Michael Roberts, you have some news on the boundary line on Michael Martin.
Yes, I have, and he's definitely got a head injury. He's bleeding profusely from both nostrils. He has a suspected broken nose.
A scrap at ground level, half forward for the Eagles. Carey goes for the boundary line. And Carey did go up forward and was there for a few minutes. And here's treatment for Michael Martin on the boundary line. It appears as though Carey might have gone back into defence since Martin left the ground. McKenna.
Well, they need some tall players back there to combat blokes like Scott, Sumich and Jackson, Drew.
Well, they've replaced Michael Martin, a man of his size, with Liam Pickering, so they've lost a bit of height. Here's Larkin into Ramiro. Shrugs a tackle, gets the kick away. Jackson back there for the Eagles, takes a good mark.
Jackson, he's half back. Now he kicks the ball over the wing, approaching half forward for the Eagles. Nearly a mark there to Hetty. He's appealing to the umpire for a hit across the back of the neck. Umpire Viney's having nothing of that. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Just slightly forward of centre wing for the Eagles. Opportunity for Sean Smith. His kick was slightly ineffective. Now Matthew Larkin may have taken that out on the full. No, he hasn't. Perhaps it was just over the boundary line when his foot touched it. So the boundary throw-in is just wide of the players' interchange area. Michael Gallagher and Phil Scott doing the ruck work. Gallagher doing a pretty good job for his side. He's kicked the goal. Pike, Narkle over the top, goes to Mainwaring. Mainwaring's pass is brilliant. And the mark is taken there for the Eagles by Ugle in front of Buckley. Ugle, who was an emergency for the Eagles, coming into the side to replace John Worsfold. And the Eagles sadly missing Johnny Worsfold. Ugle's kick is a good-looking kick. It could have gone through, it has. Just on the goal line, the North player touching it was obviously behind the line, and the West Coast get their 7th. They're 7-6, North Melbourne are 8-7.
Yeah, and quite an impressive player early in the season, Troy Ugle. Had a bit of a quiet patch when he was moved onto the back line, had a couple of tagging roles. But I think he's a much more impressive player when he is playing on the forward line, Troy Ugle. Good kick for goal there.
A minute and a quarter left in the first half. Out of the middle, it's won by Gallagher. Kicked out of there by Pike across the ground. He's actually lost ground. Mainwaring leads in the race. With the help of some shepherding, he gets clear. He's kicked to half forward. Punched away from Ugle, comes to Lewis. Lewis goes for the boundary line and finds it. Crowd calling deliberate. No whistle for that. It'll be a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Eagles. Well, North Melbourne have dominated this second quarter, and they've kicked 6 goals to 3. Gallagher lost sight of that. Down goes Mainwaring. Chandler to Brayshaw. His kick to half forward. Miles. No, it's Malaxos, and the ball out of play. Just 25 seconds remaining. Well, the Eagles did break the MCG drought here a month ago against Richmond. Prior to that, the Eagles had never won at the MCG, and no West Australian state team had ever won here either. So there's a long history of West Australian teams losing here at the MCG. Might happen again despite later positions. Anir kicks straight out of bounds. He should know the MCG, having played here for Richmond. And that'll be a free kick. No time to take it. It is half-time at the MCG. Great turn for North. They lead 8-7-55 to 7 goals 6. North 8-7 to the Eagles 7 goals 6. North looking to recapture the form they showed in the second quarter. Sean Smith out of the middle. An important first kick for the half. Pickering. Rule runs into a dead end with Rance. The crumbs come to Allison, who plays it well, but the hand pass a bit astray. Miles gets a touch on it. Rance over the top. And eventually Scott gets a kick away. Close to centre wing. Langdon with McCarthy, and the ball out of play.
They've had to reshuffle, haven't they, North, with John McCarthy going back there, obviously at centre-half back, playing on Carl Langdon.
He's quieted him down a little bit too. He went out of the game towards the end of that second quarter when North Melbourne got on top.
Gallagher wins a good hit out. It comes to Sean Smith. Back he goes to Schwass. Kick to half forward. Hepburn in front, can't mark. Off to Romero. Romero steers it to full forward. Longmire from behind. He's got the sit, and he comes down with the mark.
I'll tell you what, he's been hurt by his North Melbourne teammate there, who came through as he was going to ground, and fortunately didn't quite collect him. Have a look at this.
Well, I think he did get him, Robbo. He hit him fairly severely across the left side of the head there. And I think that may have stunned John Longmire. He's looking a little bit groggy there as he goes back for his kick.
Let's hope he's all right, because they've already lost the full back. They don't want to lose the full forward, who kicked 4 to half-time. Longmire for goal number 5. Distance 35 metres. He's seeing all right. North get the important first score in the second half.
Well, he's turned into a top forward, John Longmire. 5 goals for the game, which has taken him on to 42 goals for the season. Have a look at that mark again over the top of Murray Rance. A good jump. And there he cops it across the side of his head there. He went back looking a little bit groggy as he went back to take his kick, but a good kick for goal.
And the bounce back in the centre. Can North Melbourne get out of it again? Here's Michael Gallagher. Can't quite get his foot to the ball. Now Lewis. Kick wide towards the outer wing. Narkle tackled there a little late by Hamilton. And Hamilton indicating that he'd let go. Umpires having nothing of that. Narkle just held on to after he'd pushed the ball forward. Will take the free kick. Phil Narkle's high kick towards centre-half forward. Up high was Ugle. Gathering the ball is Chandler, who's done a pretty good job across the centre line. His kick is high. Carey it is. Can't take the ball away. Lewis just shrugs it away from Carey. He can't break away from the tackle, so the umpire will bounce about 60 metres from the Eagles' goal. Umpire Russo and umpire Viney. This is umpire Russo. Always very impressed with his attitude towards the players, Johnny Russo. Michael Gallagher struggling hard. Kick off the ground by Pike. Goes back to Carey. Carey's kick is a floating punt kick in towards the centre. Good play by Hepburn, and he handballs it towards North Melbourne's goal. Turner tries to tap it wide. Larkin. Now Kent for the Eagles. Left foot kick by that player is high. Punched away now towards the Eagles' goal. Brilliant gather by Hamilton. Can't do much with his kick. Pike is in there for the Eagles. He tries to tunnel ball it out. Narkle's caught. Larkin fumbles. Now gets his right foot to the ball and kicks it towards half forward. Pickering. Swooping on it is Tudor. Goal number 2. No, he handballs it wide. Ramiro fumbles. He gathers the ball from right in front. Ramiro goes bang, and he puts it through.
19-point lead to North. Gallagher doing well in his first senior game for North. Eventually Lewis can't get a possession. Chandler backs into the pack. The umpire will ball it up. Big pack around this. Umpire Michael Viney. Gallagher over the top again. Comes to Smith. His kick to centre half forward. Pickering needed one touch. He fumbled. McKenna the hand pass out. Well, it comes to Schwass inside the centre square. Wide he goes to Allison. On his favoured left boot. Has drilled it.
Tap forward. North Melbourne will get out of it again if they can share it. They do. Hepburn. Right foot kick is a beauty by Hepburn. Longmire can't mark. Ramiro's dumped. He's still got the football, Jose. Malaxos pushed off it by Longmire. Now an opportunity for Tudor. Tudor goes for goal. Look at this kick. It's into the square. No, it goes over the top, and McKenna takes the mark. He gets the handball away to Lewis, and the Eagles have got space at half-back. Can they mount something here? Lewis's hand pass over the top to Waters. Waters' kick towards centre-half forward. Running back with it is Heady. The bounce favours that player. Now Brett Heady, short pass into the pocket, punched away by Buckley. It's good play on Ugle, and North Melbourne are holding up. The youngsters for North Melbourne, enthusiasm, and it's boiling over here in the third term.
The wrong option there, Robbo, by Heady into that pocket. Would have been a very difficult shot at goal anyway. Should have went long for the square.
25 to 30 metres around from the Eagles' goal. High over the top, McCarthy. Heady's a chance to get another possession. Good play by Hamilton. Pike's held in. The ball comes back to Heady, and it slips out of his hands over for a boundary throw-in. The Eagles frustrated.
20 possessions though, Brett Heady. Early minutes of the third quarter. Jackson beats Carey. Down to Heady. 21st possession. North in front. Bryce takes the mark in front of Sumich. So Sumich with a new opponent in Paul Bryce. And Michael Roberts reported at halftime he doubts whether we'll see Michael Martin back. Apart from the broken nose, it's concussion. The ball out of play at half-back for North Melbourne. Be a great thing for Wayne Schimmelbusch, and one of the youngest outfits ever to take the field in the VFL or AFL. Average age 21. Oldest player is Matthew Larkin, 25 years of age. Schwass. Ball out of play. Throw-in.
Well, they've taken it up to the Eagles right from the first bounce. They had trouble handling the ball early, North Melbourne, but they settled down with 2 goals late in the first quarter, and they've gone on with it. Brayshaw, Ellison runs away from Heady, gets onto the left foot. Ellison's kick this time is wide, and unfortunately out of bounds on the full. The free kick to be taken by Rance. Rance rather lazily kicks it to Scott. Gathers about 25 metres, so Scott, now he goes long for the Eagles, back towards centre wing. And a good mark taken in front of Langdon by Gallagher. Michael Gallagher, released from Carlton. Only a young player, but certainly giving North Melbourne some sort of a lift there in the ruck and around the ground. The ball comes back to Lewis. Lewis for the Eagles. Kicks it into a vacant half-forward position, but running back and taking a good mark is Wayne Carey. And North Melbourne growing in confidence with every minute the match is being played.
Running mark taken by Hamilton. Oh, he's caught in a tackle by Kemp. Kemp in there to apply another one, but Bryce gets a little kick away to Schwass. Schwass up to half-forward. Delivery was good. Pickering couldn't mark. Smith to Pickering. Great play. Off to Allison, who's playing on Heady and has been dangerous this quarter. Allison offline with this one. Through for a behind. He's kicked 2 goals, 3. 74 to 48. And a worried look on the face of Mick Malthouse.
Well, these are often the danger games, aren't they? A cold Friday night at the MCG. The West Coast Eagles not used to these conditions.
Murray Rance kicks the ball straight up the ground. No mark taken. Good punch on by Scott. Chandler puts his body in where it's going to be hurt, and he does it pretty well, Jeff Chandler. And how the Eagles got a free kick out of that when I thought Chandler was on the bottom of it. Well, I'm blowed if I know, but it's going to Malaxos on centre wing. Eagles player coming off as Turner. going on as a near. The ball at half forward. Chandler again throws himself on the ball. Main Waring there for the Eagles. Brayshaw. The ball comes out to Matera. Matera coolly on the right foot. Kicks it in short. Sumic has not marked the ball, and he should be penalised. He's not going to be. Umpire Russo very quick on the scene. Sumic appealing for the mark, but it certainly touched the ground just before Peter Sumic could get his arms underneath it. Now, umpire Russo dictating where he's going to bounce the ball. Carey out positioned by Jackson, and Jackson knocks it over for a boundary throw-in. Stephen Jackson, he's a big boy, raw-boned, can take a mark and can certainly kick the football. Carey jostling, comes out the back. Malaxos over the top, hand pass, Narkle finds space, left foot snap by Narkle, close to the line, helped over by Bryce, through from behind of the Eagles. So Phil Narkle has kicked one goal.
And that's their first score for the quarter too, the West Coast Eagles.
Hamilton kicks in. Big lead by Allison from way up the ground. He led heady to that one. From half forward, marking at half back. The kick short of centre wing, and the mark taken by Scholl. Craig Scholl. Plenty of distance with that to half forward. Hepburn. It's spoiled from behind by Brennan. Over goes Schwass. And it goes off Ugle out of bounds.
Drew, before this game, it was obvious North Melbourne had tried to rejuvenate their enthusiasm by making 7 changes, and hasn't the enthusiasm showed up with all the players that have come in?
Well, that's absolutely right, and it was proved in the State of Origin match. I mean, New South Wales had about a third of their lineup who were reserves footballers.
You can't beat it. I reckon guys who are committed at least have some chance. Most players have got the skill. Commitment is a really big thing in football today.
Ball up centre wing. Gallagher makes the contest. It comes down to Malaxos. He loses it to Larkin. No great distance with that. Short of half forward. Helped over the back. It comes here to Tudor. He's kicked short of the goal square. A fine mark by McKenna.
McKenna, who's a very reliable player for the Eagles. His kick in short finds Malaxos. Steve Malaxos. Great possession gatherer. He's had his 16th, but that kick was a poor one. Larkin might turn it into something. He has. The lead by Longmire was a good one. And the pinpoint accuracy of Matthew Larkin did the rest. John Longmire's kick 5.
Well, that was a bad kick out of defence by Steve Malaxos. Had plenty of time to steady. And yet he hit Matthew Larkin on the chest.
Longmire from 30 metres. Good looking kick. It's a goal.
Brennan up to centre half back. Gallagher gets it out of the middle. Lewis chops it off for the Eagles. Comes off the shin of Hamilton, who's played it pretty well. Gave the hand pass away to Malaxos though. Steve Malaxos to full forward. Ugle in front. And Troy Ugle looking for the Eagles' first goal of the quarter. And they're starting to get really out of their depth, trailing by 31 points after they led by 12 at quarter time. Ugle's kick is good. Much needed for the Eagles. North 12-8-80 to the Eagles 8-7-55.
And the West Coast Eagles really haven't been able to get any flow into their game. They've been so strong running the ball out of the back line throughout this season, but the North Melbourne players have had the numbers to the ball, a big part of the game. If you can overpower your opponent at the fall of the ball, then you have a big chance of winning the game.
So North Melbourne have gone right on with it in this third term. Eagles still not beaten. Malaxos, now that's the one I was talking about, Bernie, holding the ball in mid-air and trying to thump it and get away with it. McCarthy's kick is a beauty. It finds Larkin loose at half forward. North Melbourne going into attack once again. Larkin's pass deep into the pocket. Longmire gathers, gets the hand pass back to Chandler. He leaves it behind. Ramiro onto the right, then onto the left, and bangs away with the left foot to the front of the goal square. No one home for North Melbourne, and the mark is taken by Scott. He gets the hand pass away to McKenna. McKenna's deep in the back pocket. He runs up towards half-back, kicks it to no man's land and finds touch between half-back and centre wing. Eagles, no one really moving across the centre then when Guy McKenna had his kick. So he just had to kick it loose and look for the safety of the boundary line. Scott from the back, Gallagher, Larkin, handball over the top, Tudor. Oh, poor kick. Smith gets around onto the left foot, now gives himself space. Hooks the kick too far, but there's someone home, it's Tudor. He plays on quickly and kicks it back to Ramiro. It all looks too simple.
Well, everything going right for North Melbourne at the moment. A very even team performance. There's not a lot of outstanding players there, players that have had a huge amount of possessions, but when you look at the way they're combining and with their enthusiasm, they're running right over the top of the West Coast Eagles.
Well, Jose Ramiro, as you can see, has kicked 2 goals. And his round-the-ground performance hasn't been all that bad either. His 15th possession, and he's kicked 3 goals.
7-4 to 4 goals 3, and have dominated the team which is vying for top place on the ladder. Larkin's kick. Oh, what a mark by Smith.
I think we have to qualify, Drew. North Melbourne's performances during the year haven't been all that bad. We went through it before this match started, and for probably 3, maybe a little bit more than 3 quarters, they've matched it with the best.
Well, overrun by Collingwood last week to lose by 80, but they're only about 20 points down at the last change. Sean Smith kicking from 50 metres. Tried his best, won't quite get there. It's away to the left and a mark to Rance. No, through for a behind.
That was Matera going off for the Eagles and Dean Turner back on.
Well, a few changes in the Eagles lineup with Rance back at full back kicking in. Turner just back on the ground. One hand, not enough. And the mark taken by Heady. It looks as though he might have swapped sides. But Brett Heady ran all of his distance. Oh, big climb by Mainwaring, no mark. Larkin, a quiet first term, brilliant since. Kick by Larkin to centre half forward. Heady again goes the spoil, missed it. Comes to Tudor. Tudor goes for goal. Should have kicked it. And Lee Tudor in just his 2nd game of footy, first for the year, 1 goal 2.
Gee, could have nearly given that off, Bernie, do you think, to Allison?
Yes, well, the opportunity was there, Robbo, but really you shouldn't miss those ones.
No, he's too close, wasn't he? Murray Rance, a short kick in, finds Heady, and Heady with his 23rd possession runs outside 50 metres, kicks it long out towards the wing. Kemp can't mark. Mainwaring's an opportunity there at the back, holds the ball in, his feet were out, but Mainwaring kicks the Eagles to within goal scoring distance. It comes over the back. Bryce paddles it in front of himself and takes it over for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the West Coast Eagles. So they transferred play very quickly there from one end to the other, and now they're a real chance to score. They badly need a goal. North Melbourne 13-10 plays the Eagles 8-7. The ball comes through to McCarthy, and McCarthy bombs away. 60-metre torpedo punt kick. Sean Smith in front of Lewis just gets the handball away. Chance now for Hepburn. It was a long way down from centre half forward, and he's been tackled a little too high, and he'll take the free kick. Hepburn looking to kick towards Longmire. At the back, Longmire can't mark. He's in there, he taps it out. Heady. Allison bumps that player, and the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. So the ball going from one end to the other, and then back again within seconds. Fairly exciting stuff here at the MCG. Deep into the 3rd term, North Melbourne lead handsomely.
Smith, the hand pass away. Anir out of defence. Struggled for a senior game this year, John Anir. Brennan out to centre half back. Back to McKenna. Long hand pass. Watters to centre half forward. Ugle the only chance for the Eagles. McCarthy thumps to the front. It comes to Mainwaring. Pops it over for Langdon. Oh, awkward one. Bryce is there. And he took one a bit high there. The tackle, but not in possession. Free kick to Paul Bryce.
Dunwelson's moving back there.
The whistle's gone. He's got to come back behind the man on the mark.
Well, Sumic hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He's only kicked 2 goals, but the ball hasn't been delivered down there at all.
Long high kick by Bryce. Gallagher attempts to punch on. Comes to Langdon. Chance for Sumic here. Good mark. Right in front, Peter Sumic, and going for goal number 3.
Well, this is what they haven't been able to do, get the ball down quickly into the forward line. It's been a very crowded Eagles forward line tonight. Sumic with a goal in the first and the second quarter. Now going for his third.
Taking plenty of time over it. 30 metres. Oh, he might have missed this. And has. And it's 2 goals, 1 to Peter Sumic. You saw from his stats he's had limited opportunities. He's got to make the most of those.
He's the leading point scorer actually in the competition before this round, having kicked before tonight 39 goals and 27 behinds.
Bryce kicks into the outer side. Narkle out there with young Hamilton. Narkle pleading that he didn't interfere, but Hamilton will take the kick at half-back, and he's played a pretty good game, the youngster. 11 possessions, but more importantly, he's been a very good defender. The kick comes back towards the Eagles' half-forward position. At the back, Chandler, who's worked overtime, gets his left foot to the ball wide. Schwass, a sweeping hand pass out in front of Buckley. Can that player... It bounces awkwardly for him. Ugle is there. Kent comes in. Lewis.
Surely that was in the back. He was laying on top of him.
Combination of the Eagles players gets the ball to Mainwaring. Mainwaring over the top goes to Langdon, and Langdon's a chance to kick his third goal, and he does just that.
Remaining to 3/4 time. Heady misses with his kick. Brayshaw out of the middle. Malaxos at full stretch takes the mark. Steve Malaxos, a former All-Australian captain. Failed when he came over to Hawthorn, been great value for the Eagles since he went back to Perth. Good punch up the ground by Brayshaw. Comes to Schwass. Sweeps a left-hander into Allison, but misses him. Lewis for the Eagles. Ping goes the hand pass 30 metres. Oops! Heady took his eyes off it. Just gets the kick away.
I wish Wayne Schwass had kicked the ball. There's another handball error there from Wayne Schwass, allowed the Eagles to clear the ball out of the back line.
Larkin, great hand pass to Buckley. In he goes to Smith. Over the top of further. McCarthy keeps it low to the forward line. But Rance beats Longmire this time, and Murray Rance breaks away. Half back to half forward. Brayshaw with Ugle. Hamilton doing well. Not a stat, but playing well in defence. Carey. Oh, measured off the kick absolutely beautifully to Brayshaw.
Brayshaw's kick was good to Tudor, and North Melbourne are out of trouble. Tudor's kick. Oh, is that fair?
I wouldn't have thought so, Robbo. It looked very high on Jose Romero, who's very slow getting to his feet, and the umpire let it go.
Boundary throw in. There's Romero and Brennan. Gallagher gets the tap out. Waters. Kick smothered slightly by Gallagher. Coming through strongly was McCarthy. Now opportunity for Smith. Smith gets it back to Buckley, and North Melbourne have converted play up towards the goal square. Longmire's there. The ball at ground level. Longmire will have a snapshot and kicks the goal. John Longmire gets his 7th goal. And if you need a difference between the two teams, there he is there. 14-10 North, 9-8 the Eagles.
The good thing with John Longmire also, he's a tall player, 193 centimetres. But when the ball hits the ground, he fights very hard to stay in the contest. Here he goes again. He was tackling Murray Rance there. The ball spilled free. And good hard work there from John Longmire for a full forward.
Longmire, 9 kicks, 7 goals, 1. Great performance, reminiscent of his state match. Lewis out of the middle. Mainwaring with Chandler. Anir, and a bit quiet John Anir. Comes back to Mainwaring. Long kick to full forward. Ugle. Still with Troy Ugle. Slippery surface at the G. Miles runs into an open goal. Oh, he missed it, but it's kicked by Jackson. Oh, it's off the post. Well, it was just the fumble. He needed one touch, and it would have been a walk-up start.
Well, that turned into almost a banana kick off the boot of Jeff Miles.
Well, he still
foot
should
there.
have kicked it, really. It wasn't such a difficult one. Kick in finds Bryce. Goes away to Ramiro. Ramiro to centre wing. Getting back first was Waters. Gathers the ball, he'll be caught, but he gets the hand pass away. Eagles could make an absolute mess of this. Waters still, Malaxos, they're still hemmed in. Malaxos, Lewis. Now North Melbourne, Ramiro. Oh, they've got a big chance here if the ball sits for Larkin. He gathers it nicely, he could kick a goal. Matthew Larkin getting back there as McKenna, and he allows it to go over in the opposite forward pocket. Well, Matty Larkin, I thought he summed it up that the goals were unattended, and he just tried to float one into the square. 2 minutes left in the third term. Jackson, Gallagher out the back. Oh, brilliant! Is that a goal to Smith? No, he's missed. And through for a behind. Well, that ruck work there from Michael Gallagher was just what North Melbourne have been looking for. I mentioned at half-time that he has trouble jumping, but he's got some skills. And Murray Rance will kick the ball back into play for the Eagles.
Not a bad kick either. 65 metres. Jackson takes the mark. Quickly on with a hand pass to Turner. Already to centre half forward. Front of the pack, Pike. Through the legs of McCarthy, but McCarthy's back in there to hold it up.
Good sign by North Melbourne. They're all very disappointed when they make a slight error, which is excellent.
Bounced by umpire Viney. Romero turned the wrong way, into trouble. Pike, the hand pass back. And Scott's kick drops a bit short. Brayshaw, runner-up in the Sandover medal last year. Beautiful pass to Hamilton. Not the first time Brayshaw has delivered beautifully out of defence. And now Gallagher, who's really growing in stature and is a fine acquisition for North. Wish I hadn't said that.
Was that the worst? Was that the worst kick you've ever seen?
No. I should.
Very close to it.
Not giving him a rap on the skills.
No, I think Eichel's kick in the preliminary final 87 to go close.
He nearly missed that one.
Gallagher tries to flip it out the back, and he does successfully to Scholl. Kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Langdon goes to Malaxos, in turn to McKenna, and McKenna's left foot kick across his body. It's approaching half forward for the West Coast Eagles. Jackson falls over and then takes the ball with him. So we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the West Coast Eagles. They desperately need another goal before three-quarter time. North Melbourne 14-11. The Eagles are 9-9. Ruck contest. No one making any attempt to move the ball on.
Good decision.
So the free kick will go to Sean Smith. But the siren sounds to end the third quarter here at the MCG. And North Melbourne hold a very good lead. North Melbourne 14-11-95. West Coast 9-9-6. Last quarter at the MCG. And North Melbourne, who were a shade of odds before this game, and they've taken it right up to the West Coast Eagles. Chance again, Allison. Can't quite gather the bouncing ball. Matthew Larkin's in there, he does so. And he gets the handball to the advantage of Pickering. Pickering over the top. Still in the half-forward flank area for North Melbourne. Allison fumbles, and he's disappointed with himself. The ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. It's between half-forward and forward pocket for North Melbourne. Just inside the 50-metre line. Carey doing the ruck work, and he gets the tap out the back. McKenna, left foot kick by that player, goes back towards the wing, and taking a safe chest mark is Hepburn. He gets the handball away to McCarthy, who's been a quiet player. Maybe if he lifts, it's how far north. Kick lands at full forward. Longmire gets the handball away. Punch on by Scott. At half forward, Larkin puts his body between Langdon and the football, plays for the free kick and gets it. Great play by Matthew Larkin, good body work. And he's got the free kick just outside the 50-metre line. He's had 10 kicks and 11 hand passes, the captain. High, into the goal square, no mark taken. The crumb gatherers, well, unexpectedly, it's Tudor. Thought it was going to be Gallagher. Longmire, has it gone far enough? Yes. So John Longmire takes his 8th mark, 14 possessions, and he could kick his 8th goal.
Well, a magnificent performance, John Longmire, tonight.
Very close, directly in front. And he pops it through. John Longmire's kicked 8 goals, 1, and North Melbourne score the first goal in the last quarter. They're 15-11, and the Eagles are 9 goals, 9.
Well, that shoots John Longmire up to equal second on the goal-kicking list with Darren Bennett from Melbourne, 37 before tonight, now up to 45. And with Tony Lockett out, he has a big chance to be the leading goal kicker of the season. Peter Sumich very quiet down the other end tonight, having only kicked 2 goals from 3 scoring opportunities. I thought maybe with Michael Martin off the ground it would have made a difference, but Bryce went on to him for a start. Now Miles is playing at full forward. And Sumich may even be off the ground at this stage, or at centre-half forward.
Back in the middle. Schwass. Allison leading the race. Kept his footing well. Oh, well played. Ramiro should have taken the mark.
Well, that's a throw, surely.
Buckley is allowed to get away with that. 2 Eagles spoil each other. Heady's back there and accidentally kicks out of bounds.
Well, Sumich did line up at centre-half forward for that bounce down, but he's now going back to full forward, followed by Bryce.
Scott with Carey. Lewis. Chris Lewis around the members' boundary. One hand by Hamilton. Pike, oh, a bit too slick for Kemp. Hand pass missed Pike. Well done by Smith. But Mainwaring for the Eagles. Mark to Jackson. 2 kicks to goal from there. Stephen Jackson. Sumich leads towards the pocket, and he's got the break and takes the mark in front of Bryce. 9,377 here tonight. And Peter Sumich would nearly have to kick the air out of the ball to make the distance from here. Not impossible. Not a bad effort. He's made the distance easily from behind.
It's amazing that some players struggle to get the distance from 50 metres and yet others kick it so easily. One wonders whether it's, I guess it's timing. Peter Sumich there getting the distance, as Drew said, by a good margin. Hamilton now goes to the outer side. Big punch. Langdon over the top. Player swooping on it as Ugle. The kick slews off the side of his boot into the pocket. The mark has been taken by Sumich. He'll play on and kick a goal. All clear.
Hepburn did pretty well there. Brennan for the Eagles. Larkin and Malaxos. Great handling by Matthew Larkin. His 10th hand pass. Buckley. McCarthy. He delayed it, popped it over the top, was good. Scholl. Centering kick. Down to Ramiro. Longmire tried one off the ground. Mainwaring. Buckley almost a clever mark.
Got
he
it.
came out with the ball. I think Malaxos might have had a bit of that. But the mark paid to Ben Buckley. Centering kick for Carey. Brennan spoils. The hand pass over the top back to Carey. He finds on his own Schwass. 40 metres out. Close. Just the wrong side. Wayne Schwass's first score tonight.
"20 minutes left in the term. The Eagles need to get a move on if they're going to win this game. Kick in. Scott bumped off the ball. Hepburn over the top. Ramiro, he hasn't kept it in. Tried to con the boundary umpire, but no, not having anything to do with that. So we've got a boundary throw in. The runner having a bit of a chat there to Jose Ramiro. Ball comes wide. Pickering just gets his foot to the ball. Kick off the ground by Smith. Opportunity for Tudor. Waters taps the ball afield, and Larkin gaining in confidence. Schwass, Buckley, good transference by North Melbourne. Pickering, this player will be pinned. Ramiro back onto the left foot, he finds space. The snapshot is high and wide. Through for another behind to North Melbourne. So the behinds could be important to them. They lead by 33 points. The Eagles need 6 goals to hit the front. Murray Rance waiting for the goal umpire to complete his duties, and he'll bring the ball back into play.
Well, they need 6 goals, and they've only kicked 6 since quarter time in 2.5 quarters of football. But here they go through Heady, the leading possession winner for the match. Brayshaw got second touch. Umpire comes in and will ball it up. Last man up in the pack, Phil Narkle. 10 possessions for him. Pretty quiet, pretty expensive player too for the Eagles. Big leap there by McCarthy, and it comes back to him. Kept on running. He goes back in after it. John McCarthy feeds out to Buckley. Slung off his kick. Pike to full forward. Bryce in front.
Good mark.
Yeah, strong mark out in front of his face.
He goes wide to an unmarked Smith. Whoops, he's in trouble. Langdon claims him. Into Brayshaw. Kick smothered by Pike. Back to Brayshaw. His left-footer to centre wing. Awkward for Scott. Allison rips it away from him. Oh, he's knocked over by McKenna, and McKenna's given away the free kick.
Good play by Brett Allison. He really didn't take his eye off the football. And
it's a free kick against McKenna there. Obviously left to the head.
A slow-mo replay indicating such. The kick is gathered by Lewis. He gets it off to Brennan. Brennan kicks it in towards the centre. Langdon takes the mark. He's been out of the play for 2 quarters. He had a terrific first quarter. Carl Langdon's kick was a good one. The mark is taken by Ugle. And we'll just see whether Troy Ugle can get the distance here. Will probably have to kick from around about the 50-metre line to get the ball over the player on the mark's head. It's a good-looking kick by Ugle, but it just floats away at the last minute and through for a behind of the Eagles. And they badly need 2 quick goals to give them some sort of momentum.
Well, a lot of players have gone out for the West Coast Eagles out of the game. Langdon, Main Waring's been a disappointing player too tonight. A player who was very good last year. Has not done a lot. Narkle with only 10 possessions, not enough for an on-ball player. Murray Rance a quiet night, only 3 possessions.
Kick by Pickering after the free. Another mark to Heady, his 10th mark for the night. It's taken away by McCarthy, who rides the bump beautifully. Brennan fumbles. The tap up to Scott. Into Turner. To half forward. Flipped over the back. Brayshaw, caught by Ugle. Hamilton lost it. Pike to Jackson. Goes the short pass. Will it carry? Sumich dives and marks.
Good kick by Jackson there. He could have been tempted to bomb away, but just gave a little chip drop punt. Sumich a chance to run into it.
Yes, it was a clever chip kick there from Steve Jackson. Peter Sumich has found a little bit of room to move in on the forward line in this last quarter.
7 marks he's taken, coming up for his 7th kick and going for his 4th goal. Good delivery. To the full forwards, 2 to Sumich and 1 to Longmire.
North Melbourne lead by 26 points. The Eagles will get it out again through Scott. Big punch by Smith. Gallagher. Right foot kick by that player. Waters. Handball over the top. Main Waring, a good gather. Oh, that was just absolutely ridiculous stuff there by Main Waring. He just looks a little bit too casual, do you think, Bernie?
Well, he doesn't seem to be the same player as he was last year, Chris Main Waring. Not the same dash about him.
Struggling for form. They sent him back to the West Australian competition for a while.
Scott bustling hard. Now Main Waring gathers the ball, tackled by Smith and held when he didn't have it, according to the umpire. So Main Waring may make up for that error just a few seconds ago. He kicks the ball high. Up towards half forward, no mark. Turner bustled out of it by Smith. and Smith put his body in. Poor effort by Scott. Smith will take the free kick for North Melbourne at half-back. Sean Smith, another one of the inclusions at the selection table for North Melbourne on Thursday night. Brennan takes the ball over. We'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half-forward, favouring North Melbourne.
It was a pretty gutsy selection by North because they dropped Ross Smith, a state player. They dropped Peter German. So there's a bit of experience there.
Donald McDonald also, another player out of the side.
Well, drastic situations require drastic measures. They'd lost, what, 6 in a row, haven't they, before
6.
tonight?
Also, Ross Smith, who's a very tough defender, been one of North Melbourne's better players.
Played for Victoria last year.
Malaxos kicks the ball back towards centre wing. No mark taken by Scholl. Play on, says the umpire. The kick goes back towards half-forward for North Melbourne. High flyers required. Hepburn gets it out to Smith. He's had about 5 possessions in the last few minutes. Longmire punched away by Rance. Romero, goal number 4, yes!
Ball comes to the feet of Gallagher. Smith was in there. He'll get a free kick. Oh, it's an Eagles free kick to Pike. Don Pike puts it out wide to an unmarked McKenna. Here's a good lead. Right on the boundary line, the mark taken by Sumic. He's kicked 2 this quarter. And well within kicking distance, although the angle not good.
Although it does favour the left footer, the side of the ground that he is taking the kick from.
Would you kick it, Bernie? You would, wouldn't you?
Well, I'd like to think I could, but it's a very tough angle.
Across the face of goals. And the Eagles should have had Bernie Quinlan out there. I reckon you would have kicked it.
I could have missed that just as well as he could.
No.
Scholl, the North Melbourne player, to kick it back into play. Goes long outside 50 metres. A good kick by that player. McKenna at the back. Sweeping hand pass. A little too fierce, but Matera gathers it. Back to McKenna, who balks around and gets onto his right foot. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Schwass first when the ball hits the ground. He kicks it wide. It's a good, intelligent kick. Gives Brayshaw the opportunity to run onto it. He's well tackled by Lewis. Coming in to assist is Ramiro. Goes back to Brayshaw. Brayshaw spots Schwass off to Ramiro. And North Melbourne are into attack. Ramiro into the pocket. Longmire out in front. Gathers the bouncing ball nicely. Touches the ground and kicks it across in towards the centre. And who's there? Sean Smith. Well, North Melbourne, everything coming off for them now. That kick by Longmire. Just throwing the ball on his boot, and Sean Smith.
Some great shepherding there too behind the play by Wayne Carey. Just keeping Murray Rance off John Longmire's tail.
I'd like to know how many of his 26 possessions that Sean Smith has had in this last quarter. He's going for the torpedo punt kick, and he gets onto it. Good distance. Carey in the pocket, pinned in. Gets his foot to the ball, but kicks it high in the air. Goes about 4 metres. And then it's punched over for a boundary throw-in the left forward pocket, about 30 metres, 35 metres around from the North Melbourne goal.
Still a 32-point lead, the same as it was at three-quarter time. And time running out, just under 11 minutes left. Middle quarters were the ones for North. Hepburn, smothered by Miles, comes to Lewis. On the chest of Schwass. Longmire leads towards the pocket. Schwass centres. Longmire gets back to the contest. That's nearly a jump ball, but the umpire has paid the mark to Rance. Rance towards the outer side to Heady. Heady 11 marks and now 27 possessions. Mainwaring. Chandler closing the gap. Mainwaring gives him the slip. Good running by Heady. He certainly does give his teammates some options. Jackson just inside the line, but it comes off Scholl out of bounds.
Good play by the North Melbourne defender there. He could quite easily have given up with just that little punch away from Jackson. We've got a boundary throw in just outside 50 metres. Jackson doing the ruck work. Ugle in there working overtime. So is Buckley for North Melbourne. Back to Chandler, and he takes the ball over. Well, the Eagles given up. It's 9.5 minutes left. They trail 16-13 to 11-11. Malaxos gathers the ball at half forward, kicks the ball towards full forward. At the back, Sumic, he may even kick the goal still. He does.
Sean Smith being helped off the ground. A shame he's had 27 possessions in a big last quarter. Hepburn wins out of the middle. Carey gets a further fist to it for North. Buckley losing ground, gains the ball though. Hamilton, a bit of a trip. Malaxos, great tackle by McRae. Schwass gains some ground for North, about 30 metres. Clever kick.
He's come into the play the last quarter, Wayne Schwass. He fumbled a bit early and a few hand passes that weren't all that good, but 14 kicks and 8 handballs.
Finished up being a good night's work. Big pack around this. Lewis, Kemp. Ducks into Hepburn's tackle. The umpire says you're holding it. Free kick to Mark Hepburn.
Another good player too. Hepburn contested very hard tonight.
Torpedo travels 60 metres. Oh, Carey in the same direction as the ball. Then goes in to apply the tackle, but the umpire will ball it up this time. Bit too close to goal.
Good effort there by Carey to recover from the big leap, attempting the mark and then to apply the tackle. And that has typified North Melbourne's performance this evening. They've been as keen as you could possibly get a bunch of youngsters. Gallagher, Larkin, can't get away. Kick out by Lewis, comes back to Carey. Carey across his body. It's offline. Rance takes it through for another behind to North Melbourne. Michael Roberts has a report on Sean Smith.
Yes, as Bernie Quinlan indicated, Sean Smith does have a right ankle injury and he's complaining about pain on the lateral side.
Kick in is a good long one. Heady flies high, comes off to Chandler. Rather, it's Hepburn. In he goes to McRae. A spin. Great play. Longmire's there. Gets a fingernail to it. Oh, down goes Romero. Pretty tough in there. Romero will be counting his teeth.
Well, the umpire may have trouble bouncing the ball here, Drew. Very soft patch of ground there. I think he only may be able to find one. Just.
And he looks like a bunker. Gallagher palms down, but Pike takes it away. Back to Matera. And that's a free kick against Schwass to Kemp.
Kemp is at half-back. Kicks the ball towards the wing and a good mark taken by McCarthy. I think someone needs to whack that guy in the ear, and he certainly lifts. I don't know why, but he's lifted since half-time. Carey takes the mark at half-forward. Carey's long kick in towards the goal square. Gallagher gets back. Could be a golden lot. No, Longmire couldn't quite control it. And he takes it through for another behind to North Melbourne. So North Melbourne just edging that little bit further away from a West Coast last-minute onslaught. There's 6 minutes left. Rance kicks into the outer side, gives it to Lewis. Lewis kicks it outside 50 metres towards the wing. The mark has been taken by Heady. Heady's tried his heart out all night. Left foot kick towards half-forward. Langdon can't mark. Narkle just gives a sneaky little hand pass to Kemp. Goes to Ugle. Back to Kemp. Close to the boundary line. Kemp looking to centre it. Now he goes in and Sumic takes the mark. And good play by Kemp.
Yes, a good centering kick there. He was running out of room across along the boundary line. And that was no doubt his best option. He was all the time looking to give that ball off.
Sumic going for his 4th in this quarter.
Peter Sumic has done a fair job up there at full forward. 5 goals, 2. Is this 6 goals, 2? The fans are screaming, so they're indicating it's a behind, and it is. Peter Sumic, his 3 behinds could quite easily have been goals. And the Eagles desperately need 2 or 3 quick ones.
Lead by McRae. He's kicked to the centre of the ground. Allison, almost. Dragged down by Mainwaring. Free kick to the north forward. Brad Allison, who's kicked 2 goals 3 tonight. He centres this one to Hepburn. He's got Schwass unmarked over the top. He missed him with the hand pass, but he's got it. Haddock. Schwass gathers, gets around Lewis, goes with a hand pass to Ramiro. He's kicked 4, gives it away unselfishly. Pickering won't make the distance from 25 metres. Gallagher at the front, Ramiro. Gallagher again. Rance to Lewis, and the Eagles out of defence. Malaxos over the centre circle. The punch down from behind comes to Mainwaring. He slips a tackle. Open forward line. Ugle is there. Oh, what a clever mark by Brayshaw.
I don't know how this bloke is ever out of the team, Drew. Tremendous player, Brayshaw.
He showed some courage, Bernie. Got the hand pass off to Bryce. Bryce's kick goes across the half-back line. The mark is taken by Chandler, and he's a very constructive player. Hepburn takes the hand pass up towards half-forward. Ramiro runs onto it, fumbles. He's still got the ball underneath him, Jose Ramiro. Given some assistance by Carey. It could be a free kick to North Melbourne. They can raffle at these 2 players. It'll go to Ramiro. He's outside 50 metres, so too far out to score. Players upfield not moving all that much. Now Longmire gives the lead, but Ramiro's going to bomb away. 55 metres from goal. He goes for the long kick in towards the goal square. It's punched away by the Eagles defenders, and we'll have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Just under 3.5 minutes left, so North Melbourne will win the match. Just the margin in question now. Gallagher in front, gets the ball down. Allison dispossessed. Pike back there for the Eagles. A short kick. Now a gather by McRae. McRae goes long. Drop punt kick. Is it on the right side of the big post? No, it's not. And it's through for a behind to North Melbourne. Dean McRae, who has just come on, replacing Sean Smith, who hurt his ankle in this last quarter. Dean McRae, 9 possessions. Murray Rance with the football.
North have lost a bit of the system they had at getting the ball to Longmire earlier on. Punch forward, comes to Miles. Pickering seen out of it by McKenna. McCarthy does well. Tudor whips the hand pass out to Chandler. Long and high to full forward. Carey made a good contest of that. Malaxos out of defence. McCarthy runs onto it. Carey getting back there. Comes to Malaxos again. And Steve Malaxos with 25 possessions. Chance for Ramiro to kick number 5. He beats Jackson's tackle. Hepburn. McRae back to Hepburn. Round the corner. Longmire there. Oh, he was held off at John Longmire. No whistle. Out of defence, Miles. All North Melbourne, and Pickering stands his ground to take the mark. Liam Pickering. Longmire. Not this time. Larkin goes backwards. Schwass, 50 metres out. Bang! Good distance with that kick, but offline. A mark? Yes, just inside the line of in the field of play to Miles.
Miles in the back pocket. 1.5 minutes left. Long kick. Hepburn in front. Mainwaring. Hand pass too far. Schwass. Well caught by Mainwaring, and Mainwaring should get the free kick, and he does so. Play on now. Onto the left foot. He kicks haphazardly up towards Langdon. Langdon gets back quickly, and he gathers the ball. McCarthy putting pressure on. The kick goes towards half forward. Ugle is dispossessed. Well, umpire Russo awards a kick there to Ugle. Obviously, it was a free kick because he really didn't take the mark.
Yeah, too high, Robbo.
So Ugle
over the shoulder. Just
inside 50 metres. He did shoot from here earlier in the quarter. The kick is a motley one. Bounces just inside. Here's a goal coming up to Sumic. Pretty simple.
Hepburn gets it to Larkin. Larkin's kick inside 50. Ramiro going for number 5. Yes! final nail in the Eagles' coffin, 17-16 to 13-12.
Well, that's a perfect answer there from the North Melbourne side. Good play there by Hepburn, winning the ball out of the centre. Quickly into the North Melbourne forward line, very open. Jose Romero, his 5th goal. A good performance, whether on the ball or roving from the pocket.
Well, there's only 15 seconds left, but the speed with which they kicked that, there's time enough for another one. And a big knock out of the middle. Held up by Brennan. Carey's been reported once for chatting the umpire. He doesn't want to go in again, especially at this stage of the game. That's it. And that breaks the drought for North Melbourne after 6 successive losses. Look at the faces of the North players as they run out winners. 17-16, 1-18 to the Eagles, 13-12, 90.